Uh, uh. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Morning Deuce Monday. Today's going to be a shorter one because I spent the whole night of my Morning Deuce time in the Evening Deuce. I was doing a interview that's going to come out this Friday, and it was really interesting. I think it's going to be really cool. It's all about graffiti art and street art, so that's something to look forward to for Friday. But I had an awesome weekend. I feel in a really great position. I hiked, which was amazing. I hung out with a bunch of friends. I went to a little bonfire type thing. I went to the beach. I mean, things were good for me. It was a good weekend. Summertime is here in full session. Will Smith would be proud. Summertime. But what I got to do very cool on Sunday was I went to MLB FanFest for the All-Star Game. So basically, the All-Star Game is in town this year in San Diego, and they have all these activities going on, and obviously the Home Run Derby will happen in the actual game itself, but just a lot of people in town, a lot of different activities, and one of my friends scored 2 tickets from work somehow, and he asked me to go like the last minute, and I went. I didn't really have anything planned for the day, thought my day was going to go in a completely different direction, and he asked me if I wanted to go, and I just said yes, and it ended up being an awesome day. When I first got there, I thought it was going to be boring just because the booth seemed a little uninteresting. We were reading a lot of plaques and stuff, and it was fine. I mean, I've been to Cooperstown. I'm a diehard baseball fan. Played it a ton. It's the reason my shoulder's messed up because I threw a curveball in college and tore my labrum and then kept pitching because I didn't want to stop when I was just on the club team. My dad was the best baseball player. He got major league callbacks before getting drafted to Vietnam, but he was unbelievable. Captain of his college team and stuff. He's amazing. So I've always loved baseball, and I've talked about how much I love this year's Red Sox team. But FanFest it had so many kids and families, and all the activities the lines were just so long. And so at first we were kind of looking at a bunch of things so we could avoid the lines, thinking it might be a little bit boring. But eventually we got a beer or two. We kind of made the decision we didn't really want to wait in line to do too many of the baseball related things, actually. I didn't need to go in a batting cage and hit a couple balls. I mean, I can do that anywhere. I can go to a batting cage. I didn't really need to, do foot speed things to see if I could steal a base or any of that. I wasn't into that. So instead, we were kind of going to see what free, cool stuff we could do. There was a thing where you could catch a ball they would throw to you, and they would take instantaneous photos from 12 cameras and then combine them all together to give you a 360-degree picture. That was really cool. I went and did that. You could get your own baseball card made with whatever jersey you want. And I took the beer that I had. And my friend Matt and we went up and they took the photo of us. And the woman tried to hand me a baseball bat. And I was like, listen, I've got to play to my strengths here. I've come to the conclusion I'm not getting drafted for the big leagues. I think I should make a baseball card of something I'm good at. And just took the photo of me with my backwards hat on, the Red Sox jersey, drinking a beer in a bottle. It's amazing. One of my favorite pictures of all time. Literally, it made my day. That photo alone on a baseball card. I have a baseball card of me drinking a beer. She was like, "You sure you don't want the bat?" I was like, "Listen, lady, I just take the picture. I'm going to play to my strengths here. We got this." It was great, though. Ran around, saw a bunch of cool historical things. Got an airbrush tattoo. Got a weird a face paint tattoo, but on my arm, and it was awesome. I guess it's not a tattoo. That's just face painting. And it's not really face painting because it's on my arm. So I got arm painting. I don't know. But once I started doing that stuff, it was really fun. Run around. I loved watching people try to do the activities and not be good at them. I kind of enjoyed that. It was pretty funny. All that stuff. And I got to meet a little bit of a childhood hero. I guess it was a childhood hero, Kevin Millar, who was a first baseman for the Red Sox for quite a few years. Now does baseball analysis and all sorts of stuff. Announces some games, does a bunch of work for charity. And he was a huge part of the 2004 Red Sox team that broke the curse, which is a huge part of my childhood. And I can remember him saying, his whole like cowboy up, which was like man up and whatever. But he was the guy who was running around the stadium when they were down 0-3, and they had to win 4 games in a row against the Yankees, which no one had done in the playoffs. And he was the guy running around being like, don't let us win this one. And it's really well covered in the documentary, 30 for 30 documentary, 4 Days in October. I mean, his thing, he started those 4 days. I mean, he was the one like willingly going up to media being like, I'm just saying, we got a shot at this. People don't think we do, but we do. And his line that was so good was like, it's never been done before, but if there's ever a bunch of idiots that, could pull something off like this, it's us. And it's a kind of a cool thing, because basically he was saying like that sort of naivety to kind of just like not know that you shouldn't be able to do it. And how awesome it is to just not know the limitations of what you can do, because like you're just doing things. You don't know you're not supposed to be able to do that. I remember reading Hakeem Olajuwon's a little biography about him when he came over from Africa, and he was playing in Africa on this team, and he was just like playing around, messing around after practice, and the ball just came down on the ground, and he was just like playing around. He just jumped up and dunked it. And I think he was in high school. And the whole team was like completely floored. And he like thought he had done something like almost wrong or illegal and like didn't understand. And it turned out there was only one guy on the team who could do that. And he had to start running from half court to be able to dunk it. And no one had told him like, oh, you should dunk it, because it wasn't incorporated in their game. He just didn't know he shouldn't do it. So he just he didn't know he shouldn't be able to do it. So he just did it. Sometimes just not knowing the odds you have to overcome can almost strengthen you to just break limitations that you don't know are there. And Kevin Millar was a big part of that. Like the way that this clubhouse is like we're dumb enough to just maybe believe in ourselves enough to think that we're the guys that can do this. And they ultimately did, which was huge. Very cool story. So it was great to meet him. It was cool to run around and do this activity, and it's great to have, an opportunity like I didn't know what my Sunday was going to bring, and it ended up being a day that I'll remember for a while. A very fun, very cool day. Oh, I was flirting with a girl at I think it was like the Chevrolet stand, and like chatting with her, blah, 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 trying to get her to be like, how do I come away with these cars today? Because I thought it was a raffle, but they just wanted me to sign up for something. It's like, how do I get one of these cars? And joking with her, and I was like, how do I sit in one? And she was like, well, I guess I can let you sit in this. Like, my boss isn't here. And she had me sit in the convertible they had and was like, so whoever wins the All-Star Game MVP, he gets to pick one of these 2 cars, either this convertible or this truck. And that's the actual car he gets for winning the All-Star Game MVP. So if he picks the convertible, she said I was the only non-employee that she knows of that sat in the car. So think about that. I mean, I sat in that seat before the MVP. I cannot wait for them to win it, pick the convertible, and then for me to tweet a picture and be like, congrats, already sat in your car. Been keeping that seat warm for you, buddy. It's kind of a fart joke. It's a little crude, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But yeah, it's just like a great day to kind of like embrace something that was huge in my childhood and still love, and a lot of fun. A lot of fun. San Diego's doing a great job embracing the game. So yeah, that's what I got for part 1 today. For part 2 today, we're going to go a little historical, because on this day in 1984, the first female was put on a major party ticket for the United States presidency. She was the vice president on the ticket. Geraldine Ferraro, 1984, on the Democrat ticket with Walter Mondale. And obviously they didn't win because Walter Mondale is not a president. But it only took us 32 years to what looks like get a female on that ticket. So the progression in society is very interesting because the conventions are coming up. They're about a week away, and so the Democratic one is 2 weeks away, I think. And we're going to see another moment like that one with, unless something goes horribly wrong between then and now, with the Democratic Party as a whole. So you would think we'll have another moment like that. Interesting reference point. And then, to show progress even more, July 11th, 1804, is when Aaron Burr shoots Alexander Hamilton in a duel. The vice president of the country shot the first ever Treasury Secretary. That's a thing that happened. In 1804, they had a duel and he lost. So, it's amazing the progress our country has had. That guy lost a duel that he never should have been in, and he is the person who is largely the founding father of the banking and monetary system of the United States. It's just kind of crazy that's the type of person who built our entire monetary system, also the type of guy who might lose his life because of a duel. Very crazy. Also, can you imagine a sitting vice president shooting someone? Oh, wait, Dick Cheney did that. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. End of part 2. Happy Morning Deuce. Have a great Monday. And it's going to be a good week on the Deuce, I think. Later.